Where did I leave them?
Max cleared his throat.
The cups are hanging from the hooks on the left wall. So they are. Thank you.
Within minutes, Marietta was back, carrying 2 tin mugs of black tea. She sat down on the other stool at the table with a groan. After a minute of silent blowing and sipping, Marietta exhaled.
So, Pastor, you must tell me everything. How long have you been on the island? Around 4 months, I suppose. Goodness!
Marietta whistled through her teeth.
As long as that? I did hear about a new white man, but I didn't realize it was so long ago.
She looked off into the distance. After another sip, Max cleared his throat again.
I hope you won't think this an odd question, but...
He paused, realizing he didn't actually have a question.
But, well, we had no idea there was still another missionary on the island. Have you been away for a long time?
Marietta gave him a flat smile.
I guess Philip never mentioned me. Philip Aru?
Marietta nodded.
No, not at all, Max said. Quelle surprise, she said, raising her eyebrows. Yes, I have been away for a while.
She stifled a yawn and stretched a little, folding her arms behind her head, pointing her breasts towards Max as she did so.
I left for the east at the end of the last dry season, and that's where I've been, she said. Ah, east,
Max parroted.
Yes.
She shook her head as if he had said something insightful.
East. It's been an adventure, I can tell you. You're familiar with Chief Licky, of course.
Chief Licky was a renowned sorcerer on the east coast. Most villagers on Advent Island were wary of the east. It was widely regarded as a swampy wilderness, governed by leaf magic and populated by vampires. Even people who had lived their whole lives in the mountains of Central had never ventured to the east. This was partly due to fear of the vampires, and partly because there were no roads. Instead, a couple of tracks wound along tight precipices that disintegrated into mossy footholds, gouged into cliff faces, overhanging deep gorges. The hillsides leading to the east were so steep that during the monsoon season, people in Central called it the Brown Rain. The slopes became a waterfall of noxious, slippery mud that coated the mountains and made the route impassable for months. The terrain was mostly slimy cliffs, taboo hilltops, and patches of dense jungle whirring with mosquitos. To make matters worse, there was no significant landmass between the east of Advent Island and South America, and winds blew straight off the ocean, smashing nightmarish waves onto black rocks. The climate was so dire, villagers huddled together inside one smoky thatched hut for months on end, until the rain stopped. Max looked at Marietta again, and felt a nudge of admiration for her. It was no mean feat for anyone, let alone an elderly, clearly unfit, lone, white Christian woman, to travel to the east. And you were there for the whole of the rainy season? He asked. Yes. Well, you can't cross the roads until it's very dry. I imagine. Max sipped his tea. And there was my leg. She patted her left shin. Oh? Yes, darn tropical ulcer. Horrible. The whole thing was swelled up. Could hardly move. It was months before anyone could walk up to the north and get antibiotics. Pus everywhere. A whole scoop came out in the end. She exhaled in a laugh, still rubbing at the shin. Max couldn't help but look at her pale leg, exposed under a canvas skirt. It was covered in sparse grey hairs, and marked with an inverted round...